Okay, this is kind of like part two. Okay, so kind of have to look at it holistically, right? And I think about it from, I don't just think about it from just like the musical standpoint. I think about it from like my own personality standpoint, and then a bit like of a, maybe more spiritually as well, right? On a spiritual level, you know, sounds crazy to many people. I don't give a damn. But, you know, I've been working harder, not working harder, let's rephrase. I've been practicing presence and consciousness a whole lot more now than I ever have. I watch a couple of podcasts from a lot of great people, a lot of great people who, you know, talk about it, and a lot of it sounds really woo. But there's like one person in particular, who, like, and I wrote notes. My husband was like, "Yo, this is gonna work for you. I think this is something you have to listen to. Take notes." I took notes, and almost every night for, I think, almost like 2 months. Well, it feels like almost 2 months at this point. I would look at it whenever I get crazy anxious because, again, I was working on a lot of things on a personal, like mental and emotional level. And that stuff really helped me with getting through, and not just getting through my days, but being a bit more cognizant and loving about my days. It's not 100% all the time. At some point, it will get there. I will get there, right? Because I have my bad days. I have, you know, I go through a lot of, you know, mentally, a lot of different things. I've allowed that, and I've chosen to clearly do that, right? But that was one of the things that's helped me tremendously. Understanding the, like, presence and consciousness and being able to stay present. So that helped with one thing, you know, then get into some of the hermetic stuff to understand other parts, right? And that then does two things. One, I stopped getting angry at the studio software, the tool, and for why I'm not maybe sounding the ways that I want to sound. And I was like, no, like, let's, it's at this point, it may be me. And if it is me, let's figure out what I can do, right? Because if this is something that I want, I need to figure out what I'm doing wrong and what I'm doing right. And if the mixing part I'm doing wrong, I will figure out parts of that to make it at least bearable for myself, right? So that I'm not like thinking, oh, this is popping, this is banging, and then like I get another track, I'm like, you know, despondent, and I'm like, oh, you know, I don't like being delusional, but I also understand that there's elements of delusion that's good too, right? And it's finding a balance. Anywho, I honestly, Spinlight Studios, like mixing a song with separation and clarity in mind, that helped. That was almost everything for me. Like, that opened me up, and I was like, okay. So I watched Dom. After that, watched more Dom about like how to make tracks wider, right? And making notes, right? And then it's like, okay, certain things I knew, right? I understand about reverb and delay, that all of those things have to do with making a track, like having more depth in your track. Okay, I use a lot of that. I love it. I love space, okay? But I simultaneously understood my stuff is not necessarily sounding the ways that I want it to sound, even with the reverb, even with the delay. What is going on? So, you know, there's certain things where I have notes where I'm like, oh, I have to go back and read this. I have to understand that. You know, one of the things I think, was it Dom who mentioned, like, understand the tools that you're working with in the box, right? And he said he used to read manuals back in the day, and I was like, okay. I mean, I don't have, and you know, it's not that I don't have time. I don't think I have the capacity right now to go and read every single manual. However, I will watch his videos and other people's videos to understand the basics and understanding of these tools, and and then I can perhaps pick it up a bit more, right? And you get better all the time. It's a constant practice. Like treating mixing like I treated piano and guitar when I was learning that's how I'm taking it, right? Mixing in itself is an art. It really is an art. And I mean, of course, a science as well, but so is music. Music is math and art, right? But yeah, so I would write down, how to make clear mixes, from in Cubase, like what are the things to do, right? And then writing notes about low end, watching iZotope, okay, right? Certain things. Understanding that in, I think the low end video, he had the guy had the, was it 50 hertz running in the background? On my Amazon headphones, couldn't hear it. On my, I guess, cheaper Audio Technica headphones that are supposed to be studio monitoring headphones, right? They're cheaper, so again, but couldn't hear it. On my Kali speakers, easy. I was like, yep, okay, I hear that. And it's crazy. I was like, that's when I was like, yep, speakers do matter. The type of speakers you have matter. The type of headphones you have, that actually matters for being able to hear these things. And I'm here what else am I not hearing, right? And so these things just open me up to going, what else am I missing? And I'm a nerd. I love to learn. I have an obsession with learning, and I am treating mixing now, at least for my edification, for myself, I'm treating it like I treat my gardening. I was shit the first year. Pissed off. My raccoons eating my stuff, skunks, I'm watching them eat my stuff, squirrels opening, because I did all heirloom, and I get upset about that, and then certain things, horrible first year of gardening. The second year, I said, no, I need a plan. I need to actually read up on certain things. It got a bit better. My third year, a different situation. Now I'm working all in pots. Now I got to learn different things. Fourth year, different things. I think this is my fifth year, and I got to do my planning, and I already understand certain things when I got to start. And it's gotten better, and it's gotten even more fun, because the process is actually more fun. And getting shit wrong at first, it sucks. My ego is would have had it at that point. I was pissed. I was miserable. But then the part of me that's I ain't giving up. I'm gonna figure something out. That's what helps, right? So even in these circumstances, after listening to other people's tracks and then listening to mine and going, holy crap, mine's off, what the fuck am I doing? It's getting me to think about music differently, and I'm taking notes the way that I did for my gardening, the way I did for learning certain things on the piano back when I was a kid, right? So, and a lot of the things that a lot of the videos I was watching started on an introductory level, right? Let me see here. There's so many notes, and I write little things, right? For hi-hats, this is what you do. Don't boost this, don't boost that, right? Do this, do that. And I'm okay, that helps a little, right? But then I think I watch, honestly, Spinlight Studio. That guy is amazing. It just made sense, right? I watched his video on understanding compression. Years ago, I tried to understand compression and the ratios and how much it goes down and this and that. I understood how to hear compression and then actually see what the audio is doing to understand what exactly is happening. And then all I thought at that point is, why don't I do this on hi-hats? Maybe I can try it on hi-hats. Let me look that up, right? Certain things with EQ, my low end, I would cut. The way that I cut, you'd think I was a first grader with those plastic scissors. I'm just getting rid of even on my bass and my kicks, just getting rid of all of the low end and then getting rid of all of the high end without understanding why I should probably be doing these things or what I should be listening for, right? And then I think it was Help Me Devon, he was on mastering.com, because something clicked for me where I was like, I think somebody said roll off, like, no, they didn't even say it. I was just watching like their studio software. They had the EQ up and they'd show what they're doing, and I'm looking at the bass and I'm saying, why are they not cutting it like the way that I cut it? Because everybody says get rid of this, and I did that, and my track still sounded like a little weird, a little off. And then I was like, I should probably do shelving instead of pure high pass. Yeah. And then I think Help Me Devon talked about it, something like that on mastering.com. Like, he had an interview with them years ago, and I was like, shit. So then I got onto him and trying to listen to like him and his podcasts with like all the producers, and trying to understand bits and pieces of that. And it's like a whole other language to me that I should have understood, but I didn't. I only knew really EQ. That's about it. EQ, and that was literally it. So now I'm on a rampage writing, like this type of stuff. I know you guys can't probably read it, obviously, but it's like low shelf versus low cut versus high pass filter. What exactly is all of this? Like, what, I know low cut, like high pass filter, right? But what am I doing, right? So I then think I watched a few tutorials on reverb, because I was like, okay, reverb is depth. I use reverb. My stuff sounds spacious, but it doesn't have the same level of depth that others do. What's going on? And I'm asking myself these things. And then so I write it down. Okay, this is this type of reverb. This is like the regular like nodes on like a reverb, and this is what each one is supposed to do, and this is the effect that you get. And then I'm like, okay, right? The different types of reverb, right? Write that down too. The difference between the different types of delay, understanding why depth is important, the different aspects of depth, right? And how you can achieve it. And it's like, I'm going on, I'm rabbit holing right now on this stuff. Other things that I think I even wrote down, which you would think like, it's like I know it on one level, but it's about now understanding, instead of just going purely experimental in terms of, oh, this looks like a cool plugin, and oh, it's getting an interesting sound, and just going with it. It's actually like, I want to kind of understand more about why I'm going to do what I'm doing, and why I'm going to use something like a certain way. All right, there's certain things, again, that I am still trying to find. Like I have me and e-pianos and Rhodes and Whirlies, I'm still trying to figure that out. Me and piano, I can probably like do that and kind of figure out like how to maybe mix it or not. But with e-pianos, I got to figure that out, right? In my opinion, right? Trying to understand, is it worth it going LCR, right? Like left, center, right? Or can you do a blend of those things? Where to put like a hi-hat, where to put a cymbal or a shaker, where to cut without necessarily losing too much. Me with my lisp, understanding de-esser, that's it. I have to go. My laundry is done. I gotta put that in the dryer before work for tomorrow. And I want to go back and do some more, like write some more notes on like certain mixing tips. And then when I feel like I'm done, I'm gonna go back, revise, and just have a little strategy, at least going in, so that I can have a mix that sounds relatively comparable to what might be on online, right? And then I can figure out the other aspects afterwards, right? So that's me. That's where I'm at. Yeah, that's it. I am out because, oh gosh, I got to go do my laundry.